Good evening, everyone. I welcome you to this online event. Today, we're going to talk about lately highly acclaimed childbirth or money-back guarantees. My co-host today is Dimitris Kavakas, CEO and founder of Radio IVF, our partner company for these guarantee programs. We have been working for a couple of years together. Dimitris, welcome to the event and thank you in advance for sharing maybe the first-hand information with us.
Thank you, Arina. The pleasure is mine.
Give me just a minute to do a short introduction and I'll give you the floor. Today our conversation is based on the most common concerns that patients raise when discussing refunded programs, and those you sent us for this webinar especially. I want to start by giving short data about the refunding programs we offer here at Reproclinic. Here, patients can benefit from IVF programs with their own eggs, IVF programs with donor eggs, and also combined IVF program where part would be with IVF with the patient eggs and the rest with the donor eggs. So all the programs include 3 complete IVF cycles, also include the cryopreservation of good quality remain embryos. The medication is included and all following frozen embryo transfer cycle too. So my first question is the following one. What programs are most demanded? And who can or who maybe should benefit from each one of mentioned programs, Dimitris?
Well, I have to say that everyone can benefit from the program, and that is why we believe in it. The reason why someone is going to choose a refund guarantee program is that, first of all, it will give them peace of mind. IVF is an unpredictable and a journey that is financially draining. So people are wondering, and there's no success. Nobody can say that if you do this treatment, unlike any other medical treatments, you go have an operation in order to be successful. Yeah, in IVF we can have a successful IVF, but unsuccessful results. So it's all about success rates and percentages. So nobody knows when exactly they will get what they want. Nobody is doing an IVF just for the fun of it. They do IVF to have a baby. So what the refund guarantee program offers a patient is a peace of mind that they know they're going to pay a set amount of money. That may be much more than they will pay for one cycle. However, they know that in case it fails, they continue to do several attempts, and even if they fail completely and they're not managed to succeed, then they will get the money back. Obviously, nobody can replace the psychological burden of not having a baby. However, they're not all in addition to that financially drained. So that's the main benefit. The other benefit is that Radia has been screening clinics. Like, we decided to partner with the Reproclinic and have a very good partnership because we believe in the quality of work that you do. Like in some other partners that we're very careful with which clinic we partner because we put our own money at risk. If the clinic fails, we're going to refund the money to the patient. So the patient knows that it's in our vested interest for them to succeed as quickly as possible. So we're not there to get their money and leave and run away. So that's another benefit. They know that we are on the same side. We are fighting for the same interest to manage to get their baby as soon as possible. So these are the 2 main, I would say, benefits for a patient to choose. Well, 3 actually: peace of mind, financial stability, and quality of the clinic that they're going to do the treatment. So in this case, anyone can benefit. Anyone can benefit as long as they are eligible. There, we do have some eligibility criteria.
Okay, cool. So what programs are most demanded, like IVF with own eggs, IVF with donor eggs, or maybe combined one? We were talking about that the first cycle is with own eggs, and the second two cycles, the following cycles, are with donor eggs.
Well,
so
it depends. It depends on the clinic and the country. Obviously, Spain is very popular for egg donation. That is a huge reputation, and people from many countries around the world are flying to Spain for this. So with our partnership with the Reproclinic, this is the main program. But we do have own egg IVF, and we have had with the Reproclinic successfully, actually, a number of those. And also we offer the combined program. The combined program is something new that we have launched recently. This is a good idea because it's a combination. You see, our own egg IVF program has very strict age limits. 37 for 100% refund and 39 for 50% refund. But many times there are women who are in the borderline. They are in the early 40s. They actually can produce eggs, not as many to be eligible for the own egg IVF program, but no one can tell them that you have to go to egg donation because you have no chance with your own egg. So we created this program in the middle of that age group to offer a service to those patients, and our combined IVF program allows women up to 43 actually to do one first cycle with their own egg, and we include actually in the price PGTA because for these kind of ages it's important to check the fluidity of the embryos and the healthy DNA to make sure the embryos are good. So in the first cycle we do all this, and only if it's impossible, we don't have any positive result, then we move to egg donation in the second and third cycles. So this is actually a great program for those ages who are in the middle between own egg and egg donation. They don't want to go directly to egg donation, but it's difficult for them with their own eggs. So at least they have a last try with their own.
It works with own eggs, yeah, cool. So unlike many other clinics, or let's say companies, with Redia, we offer programs that guarantee the baby born. Can you please explain what exactly does this mean?
A baby born. Well, a baby born means the birth of a baby. What we mean that you have the joy of having a life being born. So we guarantee that at one of those stages, in the first cycle, second or third, and we include all the transfers. For example, if we had 3 embryos in the first cycle, that can be 3 transfers. So all of these are included, and all the expenses of the subsequent embryo transfers and the freezing cost of the embryos are included in the price of the package. So if none of those produce pregnancy, and not just pregnancy, but the pregnancy resulting in a live birth, in the birth of the baby, then we'll refund the money. That is, well, we have some, I don't know, you asked about live birth is clear, but in some cases.
I was asking because mainly clinics or like companies, they offer pregnancy guarantee.
Yeah,
no, and
you see, pregnancy
baby born. So this is a big difference. I would say for us and for our patients.
It's a big difference, and it's like success rates, because when there are 2 different types of clinics, I would say, clinics that are honest and they portray their real rates, and clinics that wants to manipulate their success rate. And when somebody wants to manipulate, they can do anything with that, because there's so many different ways to present success rates. What is a pregnancy test, a biochemical pregnancy? Is it a clinical pregnancy? Is a heartbeat? Is it a 12-week gestation pregnancy? That means the first 12 weeks are very critical, and after the 12 weeks we can say that we have an established pregnancy, or it's a live birth. So that totally, when they talk about success, what do they mean? On average, 15% of biochemical pregnancies result into miscarriage. 15%. So that's a large percentage. So imagine if somebody enters into a program and pays a significant amount of money, because I wouldn't say cheap, because we're not here for cheap. We're here to offer a good service and an insurance and assurance to the patient. And after a biochemical pregnancy, that may happen, may easily happen, but they may have a miscarriage after that. They lose everything, because they don't have a baby and they don't have the program anymore. That's what happened with some of the programs that are around, and they only offer a positive pregnancy guarantee. We find this is unethical, and we cannot do it to our patient. Even if we talk about gestational 12-week pregnancy, we find that this is not ethical, because what our patient wants is a live birth. They want a baby, and we want to give them a baby, even if we mean that we have to lose some more money in reaching that goal. It's ethical for us to offer that service to a patient.
Yeah, so in the case of the miscarriage, the patient will continue with the following attempts, correct?
Exactly. Or if it's the last one, they will get a refund. Yeah.
Okay, so and what happens if any, let's say, malformations are detected during the pregnancy and the patient decide to stop it? It's not medical decision, it's patient decision I'm talking about.
We do not allow that. We do not allow that. If the baby dies, then yes. But if there's any way to save the baby, the patient, we don't allow the patient to take such a decision. We are honest from the beginning. So anyone who wants to take a decision to abort or to stop a pregnancy intentionally, we will tell them not to come to us, not to buy our services, because we will not allow that. We cover for miscarriages, and we cover for death, or for baby death that needs to be aborted, but not abortion of live birth, whatever the situation that is. If they want to be sure that the baby is 100% safe, secure, and healthy, they can do PGTA, and they can pay it extra. Yes.
Yeah. And what happens if there is problem with the delivery, let's say, and the baby dies, or it happens a few days later after the delivery?
If we cover that, we cover any death of the baby until the end. So even if that means if, for example, we have a case that we have a premature delivery, and the chances of survival of the baby are very slim, and the doctor said, we don't know, we need to incubate for a few hours, for a few days. And if the baby dies at that stage, we still cover them. We cover that, because we want for our patients to enjoy the live birth. We cannot guarantee that the baby will be healthy. This is another issue that has to do with DNA. It may be live, but it may have some problems, but this is not up to us. But if it dies at birth, or before birth, or immediately after birth, then we do cover this.
Okay, cool. Because it's a kind of a frequent questions patient ask us, and I wanted to ask you. So most programs offer like 100% refund of the paid amount, but some of them offer 50%. When the patients get 50% refund, and when they get 100?
We offer 100% in almost all our program. The only program that we offer 50% is own egg IVF with ages between 38 and 39. This is the only program because there's high risk of not achieving results in that age group with own egg. So we cannot offer 100%, but all other programs are 100%, and we don't select patients. We don't tell patients for you it's 50 or for you it's 70 or for you like some competitors do. So for all the other programs, it's 100% full stop.
Cool. So okay, let's say I'm a patient interested in one of the program you offer, and where should I start? What are the, let's say, requirements to be included in the program?
Well, first of all, if a patient is interested, he can get in touch either with us or with Reproclinic to get information. The appropriate coordinator, we have our own coordinators as RIDIA, and the clinic also, coordinators are informed about the program, can provide information directly to the patient about our program. So getting the information, if then the patient wants to proceed, then they need to go through an eligibility screening process. That is, they submit either to the clinic or to us, depending where they're coming from, a number of test results. These can be already done, that they already have. If they're recent, obviously, they need to be between 3 to maximum 6 months old, not older than that. So we won't force them to do it again if they have recent tests. Otherwise, they have to go to do those tests and submit it to us. These, depending on the treatment, they need to do some hormonal tests, some ultrasound scan, some semen, sperm tests, etc. And so we can calculate the amount of risk, what is the fertility issue and what is the risk involved. If it meets our criteria, then we inform them, we confirm eligibility, and then they can proceed. They sign a contract with us. They pay, initially they pay 50% of the program to us before starting, after the contract signature, and then they start the treatment with the clinic. And they pay the remaining 50% at the first embryo transfer that they do. That's the payment schedule, anyway.
Yeah, I understand. So, talking about the meeting criteria, if I had, let's say, if I had several previous unsuccess cycles, maybe the reason for my non-acceptance in the program?
Well, if you are in the same program, in the same treatment type, maybe yes. But it all depends. For example, if you have 3 or 4 unsuccessful IVF attempts with own egg, and you want to apply for a own egg refund, maybe you will not get accepted. But if you want to apply for egg donation, those, and if the reason for failure was the low ovarian quality, then you can be accepted. So it depends. It depends on the case.
Yeah, and
we need to study. We need to study the reason why we had the failure.
Yeah, I understand that it's every person, every patient. You need to study like personified case, no, to individualize it, and
sure.
Yeah, I understand. But what about the male factor? If I have, let's say, a male partner, what criteria must he meet? I understand that karyotype, or maybe then DNA fragmentation.
Yeah, we ask for 2 main. We asked for 2 main tests initially. One is called semen analysis. In the UK, it's called comprehensive semen analysis because we work with patients around the world. In some countries, they do very simple spermiogram that doesn't include the most important elements in that, which is the normal fragmentation by Kruger, this element, which is the most important. That any semen analysis that we give includes the assessment for normal fragment morphology. So if we have satisfactory semen analysis,
We also need what is called the DNA, sperm DNA fragmentation. In order for people to understand it better, because not everyone understands, we talk about hardware and software. So we need to see the hardware, the semen, and the software, what is inside the DNA, to make sure that, because we may have a good hardware, but the software may be missing. So this is why we ask for these two. If we have borderline normal morphology and borderline fragmentation, we may request a third test that is called fish sperm test. Yeah.
Dimitri, I don't know. I'm hearing you really bad right now.
You hear me what?
I'm not hearing you well.
What to do?
I don't know. But something happened just like in the middle. And
from my side, it looks everything is normal.
Yeah, well, I hope everyone can hear us well. This is the point. Okay, and the last question about the male factor, maybe, what if I need a sperm donor for this program? So, I mean, here, Reproclinic, or like all clinics in Spain, we are working with sperm banks, and they somehow guarantee us the quality of sperm. So it's accepted for the program.
Program can be combined with a sperm donor. Obviously, if we have a sperm donor, we do not ask for any test for male factor, because the sperm, the donor sperm is already checked for quality.
Okay, cool. Okay, next question, age limit. We're talking about Spain, obviously. As you know, in Spain, there is no legal guide that advise or disadvise women age limit for assisted reproduction treatment. However, maybe to protect women's health and ensure healthy pregnancy, clinic advice against performing treatment for women over 50 years old. So how can this affect patients who want to benefit from the programs you are offering, and they are currently in the program, but the age is approaching to the established limit?
Well, we have to respect the clinic's age limit. So we, as overall globally, for all the countries we operate, we have an age limit of 52. So we allow a bit more than 50. However, we respect in every country the legal arrangement. Some countries is legally imposed by the state, in some countries is up to the clinic to decide. So this is where we stand. So if the clinic can do that and can accept the patient, then we go ahead. If not, we cannot, or we have to recommend another clinic in another country that will do that.
Okay.
Generally, 50 years old, we see a lot of problems. Problems in implantation, problems in achieving a pregnancy and taking through, and health problems that can be, it's a high risk pregnancy. So we need to be very careful. At this kind of ages, we need to check the overall health of the lady. So we don't want to put any lives at risk.
Okay, yeah, of course. Okay, another question that patients often ask us is about the medication. Medication is included in the programs, and at the clinic we manage only the donor's medication when it comes to egg donation treatments. And for patients, we give them the prescription, so they can buy this medication at any pharmacy they want to. And from here come the questions: if the patient is local, or they come for a face-to-face consultation with a physician at Reproclinic from any other part of the world, and they decide to buy the medication here in Barcelona, how this amount will be refunded?
the amount that they pay for medication will, in this case, if they buy the medication locally, it will be deducted from the program price. And if they pay, and if they have already paid for the medication, any future cost that they do will be refunded to them to their bank account. So they send us the receipts of the medication if they need to buy them, and we will refund the cost. We also have a service with partner pharmacies that we can send medication to their home address if that is easy for them.
So if the patient wants to buy the medication in, let's say, in her country of residence, it's the same process. They will send you the bill and you refund it, or you can just send worldwide the medication.
We can send medication in Europe. In Spain, definitely we can send medication. This is not the case in the US. For example, when we have patients in the US, we normally deduct a certain amount from the program cost, and they have to buy their own medication, because what we refund, what we include in the program is the cost of medications in Europe. In the US, the costs are very different, and we cannot include US medication cost in the program. So what we do is we deduct an amount from the overall cost of the program that we estimate would be the cost of the European medication, and then they get all the rest of the program and they buy the medication on their own.
It's understandable. Okay, the next question is about not included costs. Is there anything that patient would have to pay separately? I mean, let's say at the clinic, all their tests performed before the acceptance of the problem, and the program will be paid separately, because we don't know if they are eligible for the program or no, obviously.
They start the cycle, they pay for it. Once they do the contract and they start the treatment after the screening process, we cover everything they do at the clinic, plus the medication. So basically, when we do everything they do as far as IVF is concerned, not there may be extras that may be needed. For example, if they have an issue and they fail and they need hysteroscopy, or they need ERA test, they do whatever they need. This is not included. Yeah, but what we include is the stimulation cycle, the monitoring of the cycle, any hormonal tests and scans done at the clinic, freezing cost of the embryos, embryo transfers, and storage for the first year when the program is valid. This is what we cover. Anything extra, well, ICSI we cover, blastocyst culture we cover. If they need any extra service, they can pay extra. Any test that they do remotely, scans and blood tests. For example, there's somebody in Germany, and they don't want to come to Barcelona to do monitoring, and they need to do a couple of scans and some hormonal tests while monitoring and send them to the clinic. They need to pay on their own. What we pay, we cover, is what they do in the clinic. So part of the monitoring. So, and obviously travel costs are not included.
Okay. And I had a question about the payment, but you actually replied it before, because it was about, does the cost of the program need to be paid in full, or you offer the possibility of splitting the payment? So you told the patient can pay 50% at the beginning and another 50% before the puncture? Is it correct?
In the beginning as deposit, so we can start paying the clinic. And the other 50% they pay at the first embryo transfer. So when they complete the first cycle.
Okay, cool.
We have an option fine. Obviously, we're not a financial institution and we cannot offer loans, but we have an option to split the second payment into 6 monthly installments, but there is an extra administrative cost to that. So they need to know that they will pay an extra fee to use that service.
Well, but still they have this possibility. It's an option. Okay. Yeah.
Manage to get the first half of the payment, and then they manage to split the rest in 6 months, so they can pay off slowly.
Yeah. And what about the language support? Because our core customer is international patient, no? And for this reason, our patient care team and also our medical staff speaks different languages. So Radia, being a global company, in which languages is it provided support for the patients?
Constantly increase the language that we support. At the moment, we have staff to provide support in obviously English is the main language, Spanish, Italian, French, German, Greek, Russian,
English,
and Danish. I said English in the beginning, and Danish.
Ah, good,
So,
good.
And we are starting operations in India, for example, now, and we will be soon be supporting Hindi. So who knows? More to come. So at the moment, this is what we offer.
Wow, at the moment all the news are good. And well, the following question, and it's basically about the paperwork. And actually, you mentioned a bit about that. Patient in the clinic, when we have our patients, they will have to, let's say, complete a series of administrative documentation, including acceptance of the program, maybe some of the informed concerns, etc. What documentation patients have to complete with Radia? And how does it work?
That has to do with consent forms for the treatment. What we have is a contract. It's a contract between Radia and the patient that agrees on the refund guarantee terms. So it's the assurance of payment that we take over all the financial responsibilities towards the clinic for these for the IVF, that they pay us and we pay the clinic. So this is in the contract, and also the terms of the refund. If they don't get a live birth after so many cycles and so many transfers, then they are entitled for a refund. Some terms that we have for the refund is important to know. So the inappropriate behavior, we do not accept accidents, for example. If they're not careful during pregnancy, if they like extreme sports, and during pregnancy they go hiking in the mountains and they have an accident, we cannot take responsibility for that miscarriage. Yeah. So we have certain terms like that outlined in the contract, so they know where they're getting at. So this is the contract that's signed with us.
Okay, and it's normally in the patient's language, the language you mentioned before you speak.
We haven't had Danish yet, although we support, because we haven't had the chance to have a Danish patient. So, but if we do, we will translate into that. So we have a contract in English, in Spanish, in Italian, in French. So all these languages that we support, or most of them, we have contracts, and we translate. We are translating the contract into more languages as there is demand.
Okay, it's important to know for the patients to understand all the points. And I had the last question, but not least, but you somehow answered it before, so it's easy to talk to you. Yeah, just ask you one question, you replied to all of them. So it was about basically assisted reproduction center you work with, no? That was about like some kind of the guidelines to collaborate with clinic, how you choose this, how you determine now the eligibility of the center, etc., etc. But you explained us that it depends on the
clinics that have a good infrastructure. I mean, the lab is very important. How they operate, the doctors that they have, the success rate, and how they treat patients. It's very important. So we look at all these aspects, and that's how we decided in the first place 2 years ago to partner with Reproclinic, with another name then, and rebranded now, but it's the same clinic, same people. Yeah. So we look at this. The lab is very important because, as you know, in IVF, 30% of success is up to the doctor and the protocol, which is very important. But 70% is the quality of the lab. If there is a mistake in the lab, then the perfect work of the doctor and the perfect work of the protocol will go waste because of the mistake in the lab. So a good lab, a good embryologist, and good equipment, infrastructure that is normally expensive. And that is why there are many clinics around that they don't want to invest in good infrastructure, and they lack this element.
I think that we've addressed all the fundamental concerns. What do you think, Dimitris? Any questions that you think we need to talk about more in detail? No? Okay, well. Okay, well, I just want to maybe highlight that thanks to this program, the patient, as you said, can pursue treatments without maybe worrying about cost versus chances of success, no, and without sacrificing this high quality medical care you were talking about just right now. And in a possible case of not achieving this desired outcomes that everyone wants, a baby, receive a full refund and to be used of maybe for other family building options, no? Well, I hope that the event has been of interest to you, and we'll be happy to extend the information you may need. So you can contact us throughout different channels, social networks, email, or WhatsApp. And Dimitris, thank you very much for your participation and all the information you have shared with us today. I invite you to check our website. We have a blog and the interview published recently with Dimitris also about the company, so you can have more details. And Dimitris, it's always a pleasure to talk to you. Thank you very much again. And have a lovely evening, everyone. Bye.